Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of Big Billy's Banana Boat and the Balloon Buffet. This is RockLeeSmile with Alpaca Patrol and a new guest today, Zero Doxy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't ever do this, but I redid the same intro just for lack of mental prowess, because I usually come up with these things on the fly. I thought of one like 10 seconds before we started, and then I just didn't want to do another one, so there you go.
It was a good one. It was a good one. I think it was worth repeating.
It's alliteration is very important in these intros, and I think we've been slacking a little bit lately, so I wanted to...
Yeah. I mean, well, because,
do you want to actually, do you want to just do it again real
fast?
fast?
Say it one more time. Do you remember it?
Big Billy's Banana Boat and Balloon Buffet.
Yeah, I'm into it.
So here's
quite
the
a
question.
few B's strung together, I think. That's kind of important, right?
Is it like a buffet that's hosted on a Zeppelin or something, or are you eating balloons at the buffet?
Big Billy's Banana Boat. Well, I'm imagining kind of one of those situations like in Wind Waker where you've got this like floating merchant.
Okay.
And it's like a banana boat that also has a balloon buffet. So if you want to eat like some whipped cream on your balloons, there's like a bucket of those and you can just go nuts. He'll charge you, but that's Big Billy. That's what he does.
Right, that is Big Billy, yeah. That's Big Billy all over, let's be honest here.
It's classic Big Billy.
Yeah, it's pretty much Big Billy, yeah. Yeah, so. Big Billy and his balloon buffet.
Alright, you want to play some Magic?
Nah.
Alright.
Let's just fuck it. Just don't do it. Whatever. Nobody watches this series for the magic.
Yeah, we could just stop.
Get ready, you motherfucker.
We could just like stop the series.
Yeah, we just end the whole series. We could just.
So that was a good time, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on Magic 2015.
I feel like we do that intro like once every 3 episodes now.
Yeah,
actually.
we actually do. Yeah. Balecda.
I felt it coming. The timing was right there.
Good old Balecda. Oh, by the way, if you guys... We probably talked about it in the last Magic episode, the Balecda lady. Okay, yeah. Well, if you guys have never seen it, goddamn look it up. I will, actually, let me... What's the name of that video?
Balecda.
Little Mix Accent Challenge, Jamaican Vine HQ, # Little Mix Accent Challenge. So there you go. That's the video that you should be looking for.
You know what sucks is the fact that we both said that at the same time isn't going to count because of Skype delay. But in reality, we said that at exactly the same time.
We did, yeah.
On my end, it totally came through.
Really?
At exactly the same time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same for me, too. But I guess it's probably not only synced up for Nick, I would think. Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I was just telling them so they could take our word for it. Okay.
It was perfectly timed.
It was really good. It was really. I'm really happy to have been witness.
Me too. Me too.
I like to like witness Jonathan Blows the Witness, but that's never gonna happen.
Wait, why?
God,
what happened with
excited
that?
about that
I'm
game.
just like real tired of that game not coming out at this point.
Oh yeah.
How many years has it not come out?
Well, I mean, he's been working on essentially that since Braid, right?
Yeah. So what is that? 2007 or 8?
It's been a long time. But he's like Peter Molyneux type of guy, so...
That's a reasonable but also unfortunate person to have picked for the example.
Yeah.
And I think you understand why.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like, when I see... Like, I feel like I could interchange Jonathan Blow and Peter Molyneux, even on just, like, things that they say.
What else do we have as an example, though, other than Braid to even judge him by? That's it.
That's a good point. Well, I mean, you know, his public image and whatnot, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But I kind of want more than that, because Peter Molyneux's got a lot of examples of times when he's just been a dingo.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is an excellent point. Oh, he blistered your beetle.
That sucks.
Yeah, get blistered.
Well, I mean, you both have multiple creatures already, so it's okay.
That's true. Well, that was the only one that had a decent effect.
Yeah.
So,
I noticed.
Yeah.
I almost took that into account when I chose it.
All right, that's good to hear. Honestly.
This is going to be such a different meta now without worrying about the fucking sanguine blood.
Oh, yeah, I know. No Vizcopa fucking
no
guild mage.
No Vizcopa guild mage.
Watch Doxy be like, oh no, Vizcopa's in my deck.
Yeah,
actually.
that worries me a little.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh,
that's good.
You won't like him. You won't like him, believe you me.
Well, you never have to meet him unless you play with Austin, and he's not here today.
I guess that's a good point.
Austin's had the same deck for like the last 30 episodes or something.
Yeah.
And it's like real OP.
It is very strong. It is way stronger than Inferno Titan. Although, I think I know what combo you're doing here, Doxy, and I don't like it.
I think you'll see eventually.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Are you doing beast powers?
I think she's doing beast powers. She's gonna pump up the old hexproofer.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've done that.
That's scary. That's scary to me.
Actually, this deck. Why isn't it doing it? Oh, because you're choosing whether or not to block. Okay. This deck is all about getting a bunch of tiny creatures down, and those creatures being able to.
Spaghetti-O.
Help each other out.
Undying
Tiny
evil
creatures.
I wonder if that will work.
Why wouldn't it?
No, I mean the blister beetles effect when it comes back. Oh yeah, it does. That's cool.
Yep.
Well played.
Thank you.
Well played.
Yep.
It's a rare combo that comes off. You know what? I feel like this is one of the first times I might have an okay hand with this deck. I feel like it always gets misrepresented. Today, I think we've got enough to do enough that we need.
My hand is not great. I will be honest with you. Yeah. It's not going well. Each opponent's side. Whoa! That's interesting.
What?
I've never seen that card. The Agent
The
of
Agent?
the Fates, yeah.
Yeah, dude's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And considering what you said, it's kind of terrifying to me that you believe that it,
Well, I mean, I have exactly enough land for the things in my hand, but I don't have any more than that, so I'm hoping I draw more. I'm also being very transparent right now with my strategy, so, you know.
That's true. I like listening to it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I just had, Nimbus Wings.
You knew it was just a matter of time.
Nimbus Wings we can never escape the Nimbus Wings.
It's also very fortunate for her that that's hexproof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
I'm going to say it's not even fortunate. I feel like maybe, now, don't get me wrong here, Doxy. I think that might be part of her strategy. That it's hexproof.
Let's not jump to any conclusions, Rob. Let things fall into place as they will.
I am so not as good at Magic as you guys, so you're like, oh, this is brilliant what she's doing, and I'm like,
you've never watched our series.
Yeah, we are awful at this game. We have never gotten better.
If it helps you to know, one of the common recurring comments that I get in my videos is, "Dat 15 years of Magic experience." So yeah.
Man.
I will make a goof. In fact, I think that combo I did before with the Blister Beetle may be one of my best combos in the series.
That was really good. I was unaware that could even happen.
It ain't bad.
It tain't bad.
It tain't bad.
The fleshy fun bridge.
Yeah, you don't want to taste the taint. It's dangerous.
Yeah, I really grundled that attack up.
Yeah, grundle.
It captures the taint. Really, like, holds all the flavor of the.
Oh, never say taint and flavor in the same sentence, Rob.
I mean, taint flavor is the worst kind of flavor, I think. Really.
Now, taint flavor, like... I can get into.
Oh, jeez.
Good old taint flavor. You ever tasted a taint, Doxy?
Not even once.
What kind of question is that?
Not even once.
You ever tasted a taint, Nick?
I don't know what you're trying to get at here, Rob.
Maybe I'm trying to get at your taint. You ever think about that?
I did actually think about that, and that worries me a little bit.
You never really want to think about it. No, I was eating Reese's Cups earlier.
Oh my god, and you transitioned to "and I was eating." I really thought you were just gonna go, "and I was eating my girlfriend," and like the taint. Oh my god, Rob.
It was right there. I mean, you gotta see what it's like.
Did you do that intentionally to misdirect my mind?
No, I mean, maybe. Maybe I did.
Is that part of your strategy? Did you build that in from the very beginning?
See, I don't know why the Duels of the Planeswalker series always does this. Look, Paragon of the Eternal Wilds, right, is the same as the card in Nick's Graveyard, Paragon of the Open Graves, just for a different color. Doxy, I don't like this.
It's just broken.
Yeah.
There's just bugs in this game.
No, it's not even the bugs. It's just like they just do this thing where it's like, hey, we have a cool thing. Let's just put it for every color.
Oh, I know what you mean, like the charm from the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, or the
charm
rings.
That, like, gives life every time you play a land.
Yeah, from 2014.
Yeah, and then in 2013, you remember the rings? There was the rings that like +1 for all black creatures or whatever, or something like that. They always do that every game. I don't know why.
I really wish that wasn't hexproof.
I don't know why I attacked you, Rob, instead of Nick.
Yeah, that was very rude.
I'm sorry. I should have. Well, I'm more scared of his deck than yours.
You watch. He's gonna have an Inferno Titan now.
I don't know what that is.
It's a big old giant, and it's stompy, and it gets stuff done, wrecked.
It does get stuff done, wrecked.
Fast.
Done, wrecked, fast.
Done, wreck, fast. All right, let's get wrecked.
Okay. So
you got 3 turns, I got 4 turns. Let's sort this fucker out. Oh, you got a flyer. I am now next to die.
I am Blockerino. I'm Blockmaster Prime.
Big guy, too.
But on the upside, though, you guys are now in a stalemate, so if either one of you attacks me, the other one might get hit.
Maybe.
Let's just go with what I just said, Rob. Think hard about things.
Okay, that's a fair point, yeah.
It's very rational to just go with what I just said.
Oh boy, what is this? Oh, damn.
Oh, you bite the fry. Fry bites back, my man.
I played the wrong card, if that makes you feel any better.
Alright,
I can't say it does.
Yeah, it does. It's not that much better feeling, but, you know, it's alright.
What a feeling. Beans are believing, I believe.
Are they?
I don't know.
Alright. Sounds interesting.
Ah, this isn't how I wanted this to go.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Shit. Well, I didn't get a land. That's what happened.
Oh, that's not good. That is not what you're looking for.
So I had been looking down at first because I was not getting lands.
The thing I said about having a really good hand, it only worked if I were to get some land at some point.
Yeah, you only have 3.
Yeah, and I haven't gotten any more.
Yeah, that's not good. That is not Goodman.
Well, Saul Goodman.
Saul is a Goodman. I hope that Better Call Saul show is good.
They're making a show out of Saul Goodman?
Yeah. It's called Better Call Saul.
With... Do they actually have Odenkirk for it?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and apparently it's going to take place before, during, and after the events of Breaking Bad as well, so...
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's good. That is my hope. I hope for it to be good. Nick, you're running out of time here, buddy.
I know. I'm thinking about something.
All right.
Something dumb. It's not really going to help me.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, if it hurts somebody else, it helps you.
It kind of does that a little. I don't know. Probably, let's just go on.
Yeah. Fair enough. Bear a scruff. Dare a cluff.
Rob, you should attack me with some 1/1s, please.
Why is that?
So that I can kill them.
Why would I do that?
Because I asked nicely.
That sounds like not a decision that I want to make.
Okay, you should attack Nick with some 1/1s.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
All right.
He likes having extra blockers, though.
That's a good point, yeah. I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to do it.
I'd be okay if you want to do a board clear, actually. If you feel like it.
I'd be pretty upset about it.
I don't have any of those.
Because that would actually kill the hexproof if you had like a complete board clear.
Yeah, I don't have that in this deck. That does not exist.
Damn shame. Actually, what you did helped a bunch too, though.
Yeah. It was a double helping situation. It was help me, and it did in a way help you.
Give me an extra, potentially extra 1 turn.
Potentially. What is this?
I don't think so.
Oh, uh-oh. Something's about to go down here.
So, last card's gonna buff that fucker again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, is that for X creatures? Yeah, that's why the 2 soldiers came out.
Oh, except for I didn't leave myself enough mana to do it.
You have no mana to do it?
You have no mana. 0 mana.
Oh.
That's okay. That's a common mistake of mine.
That's A-okay.
Why is this attacking?
Because it can't be blocked.
Oh, okay.
Unless you have flight.
I think I'm gonna need to get myself some flight. God damn it.
I am not excited to fight you, Rob.
This is not what I wanted at all. Still no land. Guess I'll play this.
Oh, snap.
Gotta decrease your creatures somehow.
Burn them up.
I deserved that.
Oh, I'm so dumb. I could have killed the 2/3.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. I could have killed the 2/3.
Oh, disaster.
Oh, that's really dumb. Alright, so there's one of your classic DAT 15 years of Magic experience examples right there.
DAT 15 years of Magic experience.
There'll be more creatures, I'm sure. And I only have 5 health, so it doesn't even matter. You're going to kill me this turn no matter what. May as well go all in.
Ew.
Best thing that can happen is to make you have to block a bunch of stuff, and then you'll be open, I guess.
Why can't... What? Is this guy unblockable? Why can't I block your Blister Beetle?
Looks like you're blocking him on my side.
Yeah, you're blocking him with the Elder of Laurels. Are
No,
you trying to
with
block
my
with your silver?
1/1.
Yeah, I don't know. You should be able to block with that creature.
It's not letting me.
Classic
Okay,
Magic.
well, that's cool.
It's magic.
I got some damage in.
Yeah?
I'm easy to take out right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an excellent point. In fact, I'm gonna say, Doxy,
Should I vibe for second? Because I can't do anything after this, so I'm an easy target too.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, Doxy, you're not gonna like this very much.
You done goofed.
Oh,
no.
my.
Yeah, and then, yeah, I'm gonna...
Lightning Talons?
Mm-hmm.
What is even that? Plus grammar.
Oh my goodness. Do they have big talons?
That was... You just wasted that on me. If you had gone all in, I wouldn't have been able to...
No, I was just gonna kill both of us right now, that's all.
Okay.
Like, why even have a second place and a third place when you just have 2 second places, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I actually made a big mistake here.
Oh, you attacked me with a non-flyer, didn't you?
Yeah, I could have just attacked you with everything, and I would have beat you this turn. That's okay though.
Why would you do that? Is that trample?
No, I just made an error.
Oh, okay.
That's okay though. I still feel pretty safe.
Yeah.
Defeated.
You defeated.
Big surprise! I didn't get any more land this turn, so GG.
GG.
Deal with this sucker.
All right. I feel.
What are you gonna do?
I feel like I'm in a bad place, man.
What are you gonna do now? Keep re-rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling.
What?
Oh man, there goes that one.
Yeah, it's dead now. That's a dead one. Alright. I'll go ahead and do that. You big old dragon, because watch, he's gonna be...
play more creatures.
There's a cool fire thing that happens. Yeah, look at that. And I'm gonna activate this ability.
You're addicted to that fire thing.
I like the fire
neat,
thing.
to be fair.
Yeah. Now watch Neck have like a 3 mana...
You just call me Neck?
Neck! Watch Neck have a 3 mana... You don't take any damage thing.
My name's not Neck.
I think your name is Neck.
Neck is pretty good life advice, though.
I'd say so.
Watch Neck.
Good game.
It was a short one.
It was
It was relatively short. It was, 19 minutes. You know.
Yeah.
It ain't so bad. It's all right. Yeah.
It's all right.
I've seen shorter.
Yeah, I've seen shorter as well.
Once you get that 4th person in, though, it goes nuts.
Yeah.
That's when they become 40-minute episodes usually.
It could have been way shorter too if I had just attacked with everything against Nick. I would have.
Way shorter, 1 less turn. Come on, man.
That is way shorter. That is a huge amount shorter.
Maybe I detected just a little of hyperbole in that.
It would have been like, I mean, you could have read Harry Potter in the amount of time.
Oh my goodness.
The entire book series.
The typeface is like 18 point in those books. You're probably right.
That's true, yeah. I never really got into Harry Potter, honestly.
It's not too late, man.
So much.
Doesn't matter how old you are, it's still touching.
It's my favorite. It's my very favorite.
You'd like Mal then. She's a lover of the
No, I know. Every time she gets excited about Harry Potter stuff, she tweets me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Doxy is a character, or not a character, but like a creature that inhabits the Harry Potter world, and she gets so hyped and takes a picture every time the Doxy shows up and tweets me and is just like, look what you're doing in Harry Potter.
Yeah, she's been going back and rereading all of the Harry Potter series. Yeah, I never got it. I read the first book honestly because of peer pressure, and I was like, that was cool.
They only get better from there, though. Like each one progressively, it's insane. It's intense. I read them to Mike out loud when we go on long car rides.
Oh, that sounds nice, actually.
It's really fun, yeah.
I'd probably listen to like an audiobook maybe of the series.
I like to listen to audiobooks when I work out. It's a good time.
That's good. I actually, oh, what the fuck? Oh my god, I hit a button and oh shit. Okay, I think we're fine, but...
What the hell happened?
I hit a button and then my profile showed up and there's more diamonds than I've ever seen before in my life.
Are you kidding me?
There's a lot of diamonds.
Did you find a secret diamond screen?
I think there's a secret diamond screen. I think it's just going into your profile, but anyway, yeah, no, I've been reading the Game of Thrones series, and oftentimes I like to listen to the audiobook when I'm like eating food, and in the middle of a chapter, I'll just like turn on the old audiobook. I'm listening to the audiobook by Roy Dotrice, which is nice.
Is that the guy with the super gruff voice?
Yeah.
I can't do that one. I can't understand it over my loud breathing when I'm working out.
I don't know if he's super gruff. He's like, I mean, he gets that way with some characters, where he'll be like, oh, and then
okay, yeah, I had one that I just couldn't understand.
Rip your guts out.
I also read
and fuck
Game of
your
Thrones,
mother.
so
There's a lot less sex in the books than there are in the show. But
it's an HBO show. Like, you have sex in every 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, you do, to keep people interested. Well, the thing is, like, it's weird because there's less sex in the books, but the sex that does happen in the books are like way more graphic than they are in the show. Like, there's this one part where Ned Stark, comes inside of Catelyn.
You've told me this so many times.
Yeah, and then she's like sitting there thinking about how she wants to like sit with his jizz inside of her because she wants another baby.
The seed to take hold.
That's exactly the phrase. And it's just like,
oh my
damn.
God.
I mean, damn though. That's all right.
Like it's sprouting little roots and like implanting into the walls of her uterus right then? Like
that's how it happens.
Yeah, I guess so, in a way.
In a slightly longer and more, drawn out process though.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen in the 10 minutes where she just doesn't like lift her butt up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was strange when I read that. I was like, all right,
yeah,
Catelyn.
You just don't know how to feel about a woman thinking about the come inside of her.
And then, like, and it's weird, too, because, like, I mean, I watched the show before I read the books, and I'm picturing that actress, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't want to think about Catelyn Stark with Sean Bean's jizz inside of her. Like, I don't want to think about that. And, like, that whole scene is, like, he's standing naked next to the window, and, like, I think she thinks about his ass and stuff, and it's like, I mean, I'm very slightly uncomfortable right now. A little bit. I'm uncomfortable for the two of you because your wife's sitting there with you, man.
Yeah, like, does she know? Does she know that we know?
I guess so.
Like she's a very secure woman to be having those thoughts if she knows that we know.
That's a good point. Yeah, she's a strong character. I like.
Yeah, I love Catelyn. I love her. Actually, I kind of like her a lot less in the books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they...
By movies, I mean show.
Huh?
And by movies, I mean show.
Right, yeah. Well,
They're basically movies.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but they changed some of her motivations in the show. Which is a bit weird, because it changes some, like, blames, which is a little bit weird. But,
yeah, it's some plot change and stuff that I was not expecting at all.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird. A little bit strange, but you know, it's all good. And then the Telltale Game of Thrones game is actually really fun. I don't know if you guys have played that yet.
Haven't played it yet. I haven't. But
you in fact do know if I've played it.
Well,
yet,
I know
because
you.
We talked about it
that's
yesterday.
it. That's a good point. Yeah, I do know you haven't played it. I mean, I made a series on it, and it's awesome. It's real good. I like it a lot.
To what degree does Catelyn Stark think about come inside of her in the Telltale version of the story?
You know, I'm not gonna spoil anything.
So all of it. She wants it all.
Yeah, she is covered in cum the whole time.
It's fucking Game of Thrones Bukkake edition.
There's just jizz everywhere. It's actually like it's a really impressive that Telltale decided to go in that direction. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, they went in that direction, and it was very brave, I think, to just cover Catelyn Stark in a bunch of human seminal fluid.
But as long as they do it artfully,
right, exactly.
As long as they're making a statement about it,
very tasteful.
I'm not offended.
Very tasteful, yeah.
I'm not offended. No.
Carefully arranged strings.
I think it speaks volumes about femininity, and you know, I can really get behind that. And I can get behind Catelyn Stark.
Yeah, and semeninity as well.
Yeah. Yes. Also semeninity.
Yeah, it's a very important topic that everyone should discuss. No, but it is cool though. It's obviously not as well written as the show.
Yeah.
In that the dialogue sometimes is like just a little bit off, but it's good. I mean, you're exploring kind of the Game of Thrones universe, and it's nice, and it's canon. There's another thing.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. I was really upset when the Walking Dead one wasn't.
So, like, I haven't played a lot of Telltale games, and I know they have a high quality of production in general, but about the writing... They knock it
out of the fucking park.
Yeah. About the writing, though, is the question, because I know it could vary a little bit from property to property, and in this case, I'm sort of worried, does it come across like a Walmart edition of Game of Thrones storytelling?
No, I wouldn't say that. It's just, some of the language used is a little bit, I don't want to say, like, crude, as if, like, oh, they curse, I don't like it. But, like, sometimes...
Overly simplistic, or, like, evocative or something? Like, specifically for shock value?
Yeah, there's a couple points where it's like, he just cursed because he wanted to seem cool. And then...
That show Deadwood or whatever, that's just basically cowboys saying fuck constantly, because I don't know why.
Yeah, and then... It's not just that, it's just, like, I don't know. I guess I'm particularly sensitive to screenwriting, I suppose, because, you know, I once would have considered myself a writer, and you know, you can tell a writing quality difference between the show and the game, but it's not a great difference. There's only just a few moments where it's like, I feel like the character wouldn't have phrased that way.
So they relied on being shocking to some extent.
Well, to some extent, yeah, sure, yeah, but I wouldn't characterize the game's writing as that, because there was just a couple moments.
Maybe coarse is a better word.
I
don't know why I need to find the word so badly.
In replacement for what word, out of curiosity? Because
instead of like overly simplistic or shocking, like, I'm trying to find exactly where it lies in the gradient of that.
Well, it's not exactly. See, that's the thing, is it's not exactly that. There were a couple moments where it's like, okay, you just said a dirty word to be a dirty word. Right, like that, but there were like a couple moments of that, but that's not the reason that I'm even saying anything about the writing. It's just a couple of the dialogue is less well put together, I guess, less naturalistic, I suppose, in a way.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to get into. If it's about the characters are misrepresented, or if the writing is overly simplistic, or if it's that they don't get the characters well enough to write them well, or it's a combination of both.
I don't know exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and I'd have to go back and see really exactly what I mean. But
you know what? I can form my own conclusion because I'm probably gonna play it.
There you go. Exactly.
Definitely, I'm really looking forward to that game, especially now that I know about all the bukkake.
There's so much bukkake in it. It's fantastic. Excellent. No. But it's really good. I mean, beyond that minor gripe that I have with it. I mean, the thing is, also, if you've never played Telltale games, I don't know if you're prepared for or not the fact that the animation quality is real low.
I mean, I've seen them played a few times. I'm kind of hoping there's very little in the way of, like, QuickTime events and stupid crap like that in this, because that kind of put me off of Walking Dead a little bit. I almost just wanted it to be an animated TV show that I almost had to do nothing in.
Yeah.
There are, there's a bit, but it's not... Actually, I think it's better than The Walking Dead in that way.
What does it constitute, like, as far as the gameplay? Is it just, like, swing an axe fast enough, or, like, don't get hit? Yeah,
I mean, there may be a scene in which a battle takes place.
Well,
may or may not. And you basically just have to press, like basically WASD kind of thing, where, like, oh, this guy's gonna swing an axe at you, press A to get out of the way, essentially. But it doesn't say, like...
That's exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah,
okay.
but it's not... But they... I don't know why this makes it better, but it does kind of, in my opinion, where it's not like press A to see the next part of this animation. It's a big arrow to the left without any letter or anything. It's just like, oh, you have to move left because that guy's the axe is gonna go into your fucking skull. So you have to naturally think like, oh, move left, A button. You know,
get out of the way of that jizz stream.
Right,
so this
exactly.
does
Yeah.
not take hold.
The Catelyn Stark jizz scene. I mean, I don't want to spoil much of it, but you're dodging
time events.
Yeah. Oh, you're dodging jizz left and right, and it gets a bit dark.
Firing in every direction.
You would not want the seed to take hold. You would not want it to.
Not at all. No, not in this particular scene at all. Yeah, it gets pretty dark. It gets pretty dark. You know, you run through a hallway. There's just a bunch of glory holes of just jizz shooting everywhere. It's actually, I mean, it would be quite impressive if it were live action, because I mean, how to get all those guys to jizz at the same time? I mean, you know, but
I'm imagining Emerson animating this as you're saying it. By the way,
that would be hilarious, actually.
Like I could see it happening in blue and white in front of my eyes, which I don't know if that says more about me or what, but.
Yeah.
Pretty weird. So the amount of QuickTime events I was worried is going to be distracting, because I kind of get into the narrative, and then I kind of forget I'm playing a game, and then it, like, is annoying that I have to keep remembering, oh yeah, controller stuff.
Yeah. It's very minimal. There's one point in the game, though, that I didn't like, where it's like, hey, you have to make a really complex decision about the future of this character within 5 seconds.
Yeah, that sucks.
And it's like, oh,
no, I think that's awesome.
I mean, yeah.
I like choose your own adventure under pressure. I think that's super cool.
It's only one time where like, usually the big decisions, for the most part, are like, you know, you get time to work it over. Yeah.
Yeah, you can choose to go and talk to this person, or choose and go to talk to this person, or whatever.
Yeah, there's one hard decision where it's like, I got 5 seconds to choose, and it's fucked, and it's just like, it's hardcore.
Does it do that thing like in Wolf Among Us where it says how many people did what after each decision?
Yeah,
okay.
It's cool. I actually had a couple of decisions where I was with like 12% of the people made this choice. Yeah,
a rebel.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like always in the majority.
Yeah.
I always play those games as empathetically as possible, though. Like, I try to be the good guy all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. You know, it's weird too, because I mentioned this in my Let's Play of it. Because unlike the other Telltale games, now I haven't totally I haven't played the season 2 of The Walking Dead.
Me either.
And I haven't played Wolf Among Us either. But from my experience, it's been you play one character, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the Game of Thrones, you play as multiple characters, and it's kind of strange because you have to kind of you get kind of wound up in that. I want to play this character because it's you're role playing, right? But so I want to play this character as I would make these decisions, but I'm playing different characters. So now I'm trying to think of like how this character would react to this situation as opposed to
really
me.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's an interesting dynamic to have, and I don't know how much I've accomplished in making the characters diverse from one another in their decisions, but I don't know.
I feel like that's the only way that a game about Game of Thrones by Telltale could go, though. Like, I don't think that you would be able to just be one character, especially from within the story.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, they had to go in that direction. And I like that they did, honestly, because it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a little bit weird, too. Like, I guess this is another problem I had with the writing. in that, and this isn't their fault exactly, but they created this family that almost achieves perfect parity with the Stark family. In that, like, they have the same amount of kids. It's the same. Like,
it's like
characters
alternate universe Starks. I get it.
Yeah, kinda, a little bit. And but then also on top of that, there was this one moment where you have to make a decision about this one character, and I was
Bran? Because you should kill him. I'm sick of his fucking stories.
It's not Bran, although there is a Bran-like character, and it's just like, yeah, and it's like, oh god, don't make me fucking play this guy. Yeah, no, but there's this one moment where it's like, oh, I have to make a decision to do X or Y with this one character, and then I made this really meta decision of like, okay, well, that character needs to be where he is so that they can tell the story that they want to tell, which is the one, like, because there's only one character in a place where a bunch of other Game of Thrones characters are.
You know too much.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so at that point, it was kind of weird because I made a decision like, all right, well, I'll try to do a short-sighted thing that's better for these characters right now because there's no way that character is ever showing up here because he needs to be there if we're going to see that story.
You're in a position where maybe not everyone would have been because you know enough about how this story works. That kind of wanted to guide it a little bit with that extra info.
And that's unfortunate too, because like that's actually what I think is so cool about one of the things that people are so attached to about Game of Thrones is like traditional storytelling tropes that you're used to.
Out the fucking window.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like, oh, you think you have a main character? Nah, son, there's no main character here. Or if he is, no one is safe ever.
I could not believe.
Yeah.
I could not believe the end of season/book 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could not believe it.
That's rough, man. That is rough. And we're trying to stay as spoiler free as possible, but if you've never seen Game of Thrones, absolutely watch it. And try to go in spoiler free because
it's an amazing ride.
Yeah.
It really is.
I'll attest to it as well, all three of us. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean, I love watching that with people and seeing their first reactions to it. And my mom actually cried, which was...
Oh, I've cried so many times watching that show.
Yeah.
There's an episode I still, if I think about it, I recoil from it because it's just too much.
I know what you're talking about.
I know exactly.
Of course you do. Too much.
Yeah, it's just like, man.
But without thinking about that, one thing I wanted to bring up about storytelling in games in general, especially to do with Telltale, is there's always been this trend in video games to make this very overly reductive storytelling trope of everything becomes good or evil. And I've always really resented that because it really destroys any semblance of storytelling when you have to make these decisions that put you on an alignment path. So one thing I've sort of noticed that Telltale seems to be better at is kind of avoiding going in either of those two directions. You just find yourself there. Would you agree that Game of Thrones doesn't really do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're talking in terms of specifically this game too. Yeah, it's
that is what I meant.
All of the decisions about characters are very complex because the characters are deep in that way. There's no like this guy is totally besides a couple of the characters that you know from the show, and I say the show, not the book, because this is set in the show universe, not the book universe. There's not a great deal of difference between the book and show universe, but it is important to denote the difference.
To do with the seed taking hold mostly is the big difference.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no seed in Catelyn Stark's vag. But yeah, it is in the show universe because it does use all the primary actors and their voices as well, which is interesting. Anyway, yeah, no, the characters that they've created all have good depth to them, and you don't really know what person X's motivation is versus person Y's and stuff, and who they are and how they affect your story and whether they're good or bad. And that I agree. Like that's really important in having a deep character, is not having a guy who's cartoonishly evil, like twiddling his mustache and putting a nun on a train track.
It's just a waste of everybody's time to try and say that a story can be resolved in any meaningful way if they're completely one polar angle or the other.
Right.
That's actually, to be honest, that's part of the reason that made me totally stop watching the Walking Dead TV show. Is I was always kind of lukewarm on the show. I thought it was all right, but not that great. It wasn't totally gripping for me or anything emotionally. I wasn't terribly attached to the characters. There were a couple good moments for me, but beyond that, but then they made this one character in the show that was so cartoonishly evil. Like,
yeah, he's like a final boss in Resident Evil, basically.
It's ridiculous. Like he is just
almost literally. Actually.
Like he is a cartoon character of how evil he is. Like, I mean, he has everything. He has like a gang and like horrible ideas and a terrible secret, like a terrible secret. Like he does things because he's an asshole. Like there's this one scene where it's like you totally did not have to do that very thing at all, but you did because
you're
evil. Yeah, like your only motivation is you being evil, and it just kind of took me out of it because it's just like, oh, and also he has like the worst American accent that I've ever heard as well.
I'm trying to think back to who you're even talking about, because I thought I knew, but now I don't know if I know anymore, but I guess I shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but...
Alright, tell me later.
I know that when we were introduced to that character, I wanted so badly for it to be like, plot twist, he's good.
Right.
And then, like, just an episode later, I was like, yeah, never gonna happen. Ever gonna happen.
There are a couple chances for the writers to even be like, okay, but... You know, he seems evil, but he has these motivations in mind.
Right.
But then they totally abandon that and are like, nope, no, he's straight up just evil.
So there's like 3 different dudes that I'm thinking of that you're talking about, and they all kind of fall into the same category, in my opinion.
Here, I'm gonna type it in Skype. So
okay, well, I still can't look at it because if I go away from the window, it doesn't work.
Ah, okay.
But it's okay.
How can I do this?
Yeah, you can. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Wait a second.
There's evil dudes in The Walking Dead.
I just decided that Nick can never know what we're talking about.
Well, Nick, here's the thing. Now, your recording... of Fraps doesn't record like the Steam notifications or anything, right?
Maybe.
Oh wait, but mine does, so I would totally spoil it on my video. All right, never mind. Fuck it, we tried. I mean, I could go to an overlay, whatever.
You could send me a fucking text message.
My phone's dead, so I can't.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, he's just really cartoonishly evil, and it's like. I'll
send you the text message. I'll do it.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, send him a text message. Are you actually? Because I want to hear his reaction to who I'm talking about. Okay, good. I want to hear your reaction to who I'm talking about, because it kind of just took me out of the show entirely.
What season did you get to when you were watching it?
The season before the last season that has come out.
Why do I not have your number in my phone?
There's still 3 people that I can think of that would count as.
Well, there was this one character who seemed superficially evil, and then in that season, you found out that, like, you know, his motivations were just a bit clouded, and he was a deep character at the end, and that was cool. That was really good storytelling, I think, in that character's particular case, especially considering how the storyline concluded. And it was like,
I know who that is that you're talking about.
Right,
yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, that's good. That's good storytelling. Because it's like, I don't really like this guy, but at least I appreciate what he is as a person. Whereas then
you go to Drama Farm, and it's like you got 8,000 levels of gray happening where none of the characters are very interesting. And they've just manufactured a bunch of bullshit that it's like, this is filler.
Yeah, oh, it's totally filler. Well, actually,
just to say that I do love Glenn and Maggie. I love them.
Yeah, they're nice. Although
I love them both.
They're a moment of respite in a world of turmoil. It's like you just want them to just like bang and be happy. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I should watch the last.
I can't text you the answer because for some reason.
I don't know what's going on. Nobody wants me to know.
I lost a bunch of numbers.
Yeah.
But not all of them. It's weird.
Well, I didn't spell the character's name correctly in the Skype conversation anyway, so you got that going for you.
All right, we both lose.
Yeah.
We all lose.
We'll never know.
It's so sad having to dance around spoilers, but, you know, you kind of have to. Because, I mean, I know the feeling of being spoiled on things, and I don't like it one bit. Doesn't feel good.
Pretty much the worst.
Yeah, it actually is pretty much the worst. Because I don't even understand people...
Harry Potter plot point spoiled for me, and I cried. I'm so mad.
Actually, the past 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, it somehow happened every time that the major thing that happens got spoiled for me.
Oh, gross.
And, like, it happened in different ways each time. Like, one time it was a total... it was a fuck-up on my part where I went to the Game of Thrones subreddit, which is better now, by the way. But at the time, they were not very strict on their spoiler policy. Which is weird, because there's a Song of Ice and Fire subreddit, and then there's a Game of Thrones subreddit. And the Game of Thrones subreddit is about the TV show, and the Song of Ice and Fire subreddit is about the books. And on the Game of Thrones subreddit, they're talking about all this shit about the spoilers from the books, and it's like, that's a fucking television show! Come on, man! Like, don't cross the streams, man. And I got spoiled on something there, and then another time.
3 octaves up.
Yeah, well, because I was really upset about it, and then another time, I was just watching like a Dota tournament, and somebody just like goes in all capital letters in the chat while it's moving very fast and spoils what's gonna happen.
What
and it's
a
like,
douche!
And it's like, fuck you, man. Like, I don't understand people. I don't understand people who are like, yeah, I just made, you know, this many people's days worse today.
Yeah,
like, what do you gain from that? Yeah, exactly. Do you really gain that much? You don't even get to see them disliking you.
Yeah.
You just know that you fucked up some people's day. You know?
There was somebody that had printed shirts of a major Harry Potter spoiler and were standing around a bookstore.
Ugh.
When the book was coming out. Like,
that's the worst.
How did they even have the information, first of all, and second of all, why would you do that?
The books came out in the UK before they came out in the United States. So I think there was like a month between them, or a week, or
all it took was one day.
Arbitrary. Yeah.
That's awful. Yeah, no, I remember there was that one famous video of the guy rolling up onto the line.
Onto Barnes and Noble, yeah.
And yelling out of the car.
It was the biggest spoiler in the entire series, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Huge. Huge.
Yeah. And it's like, alright, well, you're a fucking douchebag,
It's like, what, 15 years of storytelling? Like,
yeah.
Ultimately just wrecked.
Like, these are characters that those people were growing up with.
Yeah.
Like, I get so upset because, like, people will be like, you're a nerd, like, you need to get your own life instead of worrying about the stuff. And it's just like, no, dude, you know what? Sometimes life is hard, and sometimes I want to enjoy my media and escape my fucking life. And I know that other people fucking feel that way, so if you're a spoiler, you're a dick.
Yeah. Well, and not only just that, it's like, the whole point of interactive media, I mean, art media, anything like that, is that it makes you feel something, right? And when you spoil someone on something that is story-based, that is narrative, where the narrative is important, what you're doing is you're just stealing that experience from them. You're saying, I had this experience, but you don't get to have it. And it's like, why does that? Is there any kind of morbid, like good feeling that you get out of that? I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't even see.
How can you feel satisfied?
Yeah. What kind of catharsis are you having where it's like you had this reaction to this and then you're stealing that away from other people? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. So, I don't know. But anyway, cue the joke spoilers comments as well. Of like, spoiler robs an alpaca in the that I always get that when I'm talking about spoilers. Although I do ban fake spoilers in my chat as well, because fake spoilers are I mean, unless you're making a joke spoiler like spoiler rob is an alpaca, I mean, I don't mind that. But like if you're like, you know, spoilers, Snape rides a dragon into battle where he
just right there, just stop there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go. Like if you have a spoiler like that, because that's almost as bad, because it gives people expectations or not expectations, or there's no way to debunk that unless you go spoil it for yourself afterwards, and
then you're gonna have this leading feeling as you're watching it, going, "Wait, is this the part where this happens?"
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And I had that happen to me with one of the biggest spoilers in Game of Thrones, also. Except thankfully, I was dumb enough that I came to all the wrong conclusions about it, and even though I knew it was gonna happen, I still somehow misattributed it to a different part of the story.
Oh,
so
okay.
I managed to still have the experience despite having a spoiler.
That's good.
That's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm usually pretty good at predicting how things are gonna go in books and movies and stuff. Like I'll call it every time. Like when me and Mike are just like watching something on the couch or whatever. So like a spoiler, just like even just like a half spoiler will get me there and just ruin it for me.
Yeah. That's not good. There's no point. Yeah, I don't get why people derive enjoyment from that. It's very strange.
It's just an asshole hobby. It just is.
Yeah, it's just like you're a cartoonishly evil supervillain is what's happening there. Yeah, that's what you are. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Seat never takes hold for those people.
That seems to be like a common theme on the internet though, of like, hey, like lots of groups that are devoted to, hey, let's be dicks for the sake of being dicks. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Horrible.
Yeah, like I don't get it.
It's a psychological insecurity that they derive pleasure from other people's pain. That's all.
I guess so.
But nice people are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shout out to those of you out there who are nice.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You could be friends.
Pour some out for Harry Potter's parents.
What sucks is the psychological thing that happens too when you try to like encourage positive behavior. Why people need to like kick back against that. Because it's like, they'll just do whatever you say opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of being contrarian or something. I don't really get when it's like, when we're talking about be a good person, what are you getting out of then being a dick for the sake of being a dick? Like, it's, again, I guess it's the same exact thing that I just said.
Yeah.
But if it's just reactionary and it's an emotional knee-jerk thing, you just hear someone saying, please be a good person, and you have absolutely no motivation not to be, to then just do it for the sake of pissing them off, like, you're a dick.
Yeah, and important to note though, like we're talking about people being dicks in public, and I'm not even terribly. I don't think it's even that big of a deal if someone's a dick, and they thought that maybe like no one could hear them being a dick. They thought they were doing it privately, like, because everybody's a dick sometimes, right? Like everybody's a dick about something sometimes. I totally understand that. It's the people that like specifically choose to be dicks, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's
like that's a part of their character now.
Yeah, like there's this specific subreddit that I won't mention because I don't need to get it any more attention, but it literally is just people hating on a certain group of people for the sake of hatred. And it's weird. It's like I don't get it. Why are you fueled by hate? It's so strange to me. It's so weird.
It's the absence of love that they really needed, like, as they were developing as a human being. I'm certain of it. Like, it's just people who were not loved enough. People
fueling each other's insecurities by taking pleasure in giving each other that propping up for feeling guilty that they are beating down on someone. Like, people that just, they know inside that what they're saying is wrong, but everyone around them says it's fine. So then they go and get extra loud because they're making each other feel better.
I don't know. In this particular case, it's not like that though. Like it's these people are just like, I don't know. They're just like super dicks for the sake of doing it. I don't know. It's weird. It's like people who are like DDoSing Steam servers.
Just for
the sake of doing
it. Hard.
Yeah, it's like the underdog thing that people are like, well, if this is the mainstream behavior and I do X, I'm obviously going to be subjugated for that.
Yeah.
So we need to gather around the people that are feeling discriminated against because they're being contrarian to normal mainstream beliefs. And then they create an echo chamber of anti, which then becomes, you know, the same in the other way.
Yeah. It's so weird.
I think I understand psychologically why it happens. I just wish we could avoid it more.
Yeah. There's no need for it.
Like, we could all just be on the same level and be cool about it. Everybody's got different preferences for stuff, and that's fine. It's just, I don't want to hurt people and for no reason. They don't gain anything from that.
Yeah, there's never any reason to be an asshole. Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it happens by accident, and I guess then the onus is on you to try and fix it. And that's, I guess, when you get that opportunity to be a good person, when you could not be.
You can completely redeem yourself.
Yeah.
It's up to you to do it.
If you choose to,
cynical
like, that's
and
the
assume
thing.
the worst.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is like some people choose not to because there's purpose behind it, which is so weird. It's so weird. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Pride.
I guess I don't know, man. It's like
People hate
admitting
being
that you're wrong
weird.
is really hard. It's really hard for some people.
It's vulnerability.
So...
It's opening yourself up to criticism.
But it's like people. Sometimes it's just people who are choosing to be wrong for the sake of being dicks.
Right.
Totally.
And they might not be part of this conversation because it's illogical.
Like, I saw this one 4chan meetup YouTube video that was hilarious, firstly. But it was a bunch of people who seemed very socially inept. Not to say that all people who browse 4chan are socially inept, but this particular group of people that were at this 4chan meetup were. And they were just spouting off a bunch of... like, they were saying the N-word to each other over and over again because...
Let's not confuse, by the way, being socially inept with being a vulgar, awful person, because I'm pretty socially inept, too. So I don't want people to get the wrong message.
Yeah, I'm not saying that either. And I'm not... Like I said, I'm not saying that all people who browse 4chan are socially inept or awful people, but... It was weird because at this 4chan meetup, it was just all these people, like, spouting off this, like, weird 4chan vernacular of, like, they were just saying the N-word and the F-word to each other all the time and stuff. And what was weird is, like, half of them were black, too, and they weren't saying the N-word as in, like, they were saying it in the pejorative sense, in a strangely non-pejorative manner.
Well, doesn't that tell you that it's just a chant, then? That it's about solidarity, not about what it's saying? Or what they're saying?
Yeah, I guess so,
golly.
Yeah. What?
I'm sorry. Just, like, there's just never... I don't know. I understand that you're telling me that some of these people were black and everything, but just racism on any level makes me really uncomfortable, even if it's just, like... I had somebody recently tell me that they wanted to collaborate with me, and we had to agree on our, like, ground rules for our channels or whatever, and he's like, I'm okay with light racist humor. I'm like, no. Oh, that's just racism. And, like, I don't care. Like, you can't chant kill the Jews and it means anything other than kill the Jews.
The fact that he had ground rules and one of them was actually an anti-rule is so funny to me. It's
I
like, no,
really like this dude, but like that, it was just one of the most ignorant things I had ever heard.
Oh man. Well, I
have rules then.
I will say that I am of the belief that anything can be humorous. I am of that belief, for sure. There is a consideration that has to do with taste, which we covered greatly over in the last
I was going to
episode.
reference the last episode, actually.
Yeah.
It's basically being the arbiter of that line of what's acceptable. You can't be the arbiter of that line. You just have to let that line be. And if you choose to take offense to something, that's up to you. But there's also the whole thing about don't yell fire in a theater. And being inflammatory for the sake of it is also not very practical. Yeah, see? That was wordplay I didn't mean to do. So yeah, I try to be that guy that is really not confrontational about offending people whenever possible. And granted, I'm aware of the irony of us talking about someone ejaculating constantly episode and then saying that. But if you're really uptight about, like, sex humor, I don't know. I don't really think that's something you should be upset about, generally. If you are, you're probably not hanging out on the right channels, really.
Yeah,
that's true.
Definitely not.
I'm surprised you made it this far into the series if you're upset with sex humor. Because...
But that's not putting anyone down kind of humor. That's just like, you know, we're human. That's weird, right? That's all that is.
Yeah.
You know, we, like, shoot fluids out of each other and all kinds of weird garbage like that.
Semen is funny.
Yeah, it's real strange. And, like, if you can't laugh at yourself,
way.
that's... I don't know. Funny to me.
When you phrase it like we shoot fluids out of each other, that like makes me think that there's like some sort of weird like valve portal in the vagina that like you're shooting.
Well, I'm imagining you bang somebody hard enough they'll throw up, right? So that's
okay. But then it would have to be your
female. I can say
up.
that both of these things are true.
Oh man.
The portal and the vomiting.
Yeah, both of them.
Wow.
Every time too.
Can you confirm or deny that women are biologically incapable of pooping?
You know, that's something that I haven't discussed in our secret meetings.
Okay.
I will get back to you next week.
Let's just cross that bridge when we need to actually come to it. And today's not that day.
That's true. I don't think the world needs to know whether or not women really can poop or not.
So before I said all those really controversial things, I was making a point about how I like not to be confrontational or controversial. not in ways that are just purposely offensive, I think is all it is. I just don't want to bother anybody. Everybody's got tastes. I try to appeal to them as much as possible without being too far over the other line generally. I think probably our whole group in general kind of falls into that same category.
Yeah, and also not to wax grandiose, but I mean, like, when you're like a when you're attempting to be a public figure, taste is an important consideration to have at the back of your mind at all times.
Well, and my general statement is that I want to create a safe community. I don't want anybody to be homophobic or, you know, sexist or any of those things. Like, there's no reason for that, and that's really important, honestly. And none of the things I think that in any of our humor are about that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think talking about bodily functions has anything to do with any kind of hatred or discrimination. That's just something we all are part of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're all the consummate professionals who talk about jizzing on Catelyn Stark.
You know, I would say this is probably not a good channel if you're under 18. Although I never actually say that, but I would say it if it ever needed to be said.
I'm not killing that demographic. Keep them coming, kids.
Well, it's a weird thing, right? It's kind of a gray area because I'm totally aware that plenty of people under that age are watching my stuff, but...
Also, backtracking, maybe not the best choice of words that I used there. Of the keep 'em coming kids when we're talking about jizzing on Catelyn Stark. So forget that part,
I didn't even hear that.
Continue viewing my videos, please. Anyway.
Just totally lost my train of thought now.
Well, we're an hour in. I feel like this is a good place to end this.
Be kind to each other, keep it classy. Those are things that I think are good values to put forward.
Be kind, rewind, do what it is you need to do.
I don't believe in censorship is generally kind of how I go with the whole if you're under 18 thing, but I am aware that everybody's got a different level of maturity in how they receive information.
Absolutely.
I think it's also up to parents to say that if my content is too controversial for you and you're 13, that's their choice to say you probably shouldn't watch it.
That's true.
But if your parents are generally liberally minded and they think it's cool, then by all means, who am I to censor myself for you?
Pull up a chair.
My parents were. I watched R-rated movies when I was like 6.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
It was great.
Wayne's World was my favorite movie when I was like 0.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all going to enter the same realm eventually anyway. I don't really understand what shielding people from information is going to do. To an extent. There are obviously things that even at my age now, being almost 30, that I still don't want to see. And I hate seeing them when I do see them. So yeah, I would never expose anybody to anything like graphically violent or, you know, that'll scar your mind. But I don't think talking about stuff is going to do that for the most part.
Agreed.
I guess we're all in agreement then.
Yeah. We agreed to agree.
Agreed.
We agree to agree. There we go.
Doxy, you can
I'm just kidding.
Get out.
I did it.
All right. Well, an hour-long Magic episode. That's pretty good. That's a good point.
18 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, you know, no big deal. That's the Magic
stuff.
series. That's what this is. Anyway.
I'm into it. I'm for it.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. We have new episodes every Mondays and Fridays, and this episode also is going to be up on Doxy's channel. As well,
you should come check it out.
Yeah.
I post all the links in every one, so if you're watching on mine, links will be below.
Mine too, maybe. I'll try.
With possibly the wrong episode number.
There might be the wrong episode number. There might be videos in the description from like 30 episodes ago. You know, we'll see what happens.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. This is Alpaca Patrol signing out. Peace, fools.